Welcome and hello. My name is Rebecca Singh. I'm your audio describer for Sargasso, a suspended sculpture designed by architect Philip Beasley and commissioned by the Luminato Festival on display from June 8th to 18th, 2011. At the center of the Atlantic Ocean drift vast tangles of living matter and cast-off material. These masses are known as Sargasso. You are in the Allen Lambert Galleria, also called the Calatrava Atrium, a neo-Gothic hall leading out into an open-air cafe. If you are not already at the west entrance, 181 Bay Street, please pause this recording and make your way there. It has 2 revolving doors. In front of the doors and between them is a 5-foot or 1 meter by 8 feet or 2 meter freestanding sign. Beyond the sign in front of the doors is a glass pedestal directory in front of a clear half wall topped by a railing which surrounds a staircase leading down to the food court and path to the subway. Please make your way to the north wall to the left of the doors where the sound of burbling water can be heard. Be mindful of the continuous flow of people who may be moving through the space. Consider pausing this recording while you move. You are standing at the western end of a bustling street-level pedestrian thoroughfare. It is a long corridor, stretching almost the length of a city block, featuring a soaring glass and girdered atrium ceiling. The ceiling peaks at a height of 5 stories. A leaning latticework of glass and overhead glazing is supported by 16 huge arching steel columns, 8 on each side of the corridor. Please look up towards the center of the corridor. I will now describe the big picture. Please pause this recording at any time to experience the work at your own pace. Sargasso is a 20 by 150-foot suspended sculpture. It is suspended from a network of 1,000 hanging clear nylon cables, starting 50 feet or 15 meters above your head. The sculpture is a 20-foot or 6-meter wide hovering veil of milky silicone and plastics. It stretches for 150 feet or 45 meters through the entire western half of the Galleria atrium. From here it is only possible to make out the larger details of dangling flasks, fronds, and lances in this gossamer light swath framed by the Galleria columns. The white canopy cascades towards the ground at a 45-degree angle, coming to its lowest point about 40 feet or 12 meters in front of you. There it hovers 3 feet or 1 meter above the ground. We will now make our way forward along the north wall of the Galleria using the columns as markers. The wall runs parallel to the staircase. 8 giant arching columns are spaced 44 feet or 13 meters apart. Each column has a granite base which protrudes 7 feet perpendicular to the wall. Please make your way to the first of the giant columns. Consider pausing this recording while you move. During this next section, we will walk alongside the sculpture to the second column. Be aware that on the way there is an opening in the north wall with steps up to a restaurant, about 20 feet or 6 meters ahead. As you make your way forward, you will come nearer and nearer to the sloping veil, where it is now possible to make out a network of clear connecting plastics and a web of feathery frond-like tentacles. You should be able to pause safely at this second column for a more leisurely experience of Sargasso. Next, we will make our way closer to the sculpture, proceeding 17 feet or 6 meters ahead. You have the option of staying outside or moving right into the heart of the work by passing through an arched opening in the veil to your right. Inside is a suspended floating oval-shaped space that can accommodate 24 people. You can pause here comfortably while I describe the interior, being careful not to block the ways in and out. If you choose to stay outside, please keep listening until you rejoin us when we continue viewing the exterior in the same direction you have been going. Remember that you can pause this recording at any time to experience the work. As you make your way inside the heart of Sargasso, the interior of the mass reveals itself. On all sides, suspended mesh walls slant outward and give way to a dense, brocade-like embroidered surface crowded with glass vessels and plastics. This 35-foot or 10-meter long layer's elements gently move and react. It hangs 22 feet or 7 meters overhead. You can actually touch those parts of the sculpture that can be reached, but please be aware that the materials are fragile. Once you are comfortable, look up. Dangling lowest at 3 feet or 1 meter overhead are dozens of identical 2 feet quivering translucent tendril clusters attached to a central point. Each has strings or tubing draping down as the tendrils unfurl themselves in response to any movement under them. They are responding to you right now. As you move directly underneath, these tendrils flex in response and come down to you. As you move away, they retreat upwards, leaving only a spiky dangling frond that remains at the same level. Just above and peeking through floats a bed of weed-like elements, swaying in rippling waves between cloth sacks that inflate and deflate rhythmically, echoing breathing. When inflated, the sacks are taut, balloon-like, and fill the upper layer. As they deflate, they reveal the thin braided nylon rope which suspends the seething mass overhead. Please pause this recording until you are ready to make your way out. Find your way out of the interior on either side. If you come back out to the north side or have stayed there, you can now return to the north wall and proceed to the next column, 44 feet or 13 meters ahead. If you have come out on the south side, be aware there is another walkway nearby heading south at right angles to the main corridor. Find the southeast corner where they meet and wait there, pausing this recording as needed. On both sides, you are now at the far end or easternmost end of the sculpture. Be aware there are escalators just east or beyond the spot where the sculpture ends, in the center of the corridor. In front of the escalators, parallel to the wall, is a 5-foot or 2 meter by 8 feet or 1 meter freestanding sign. Please be careful to stand clear of them. I will take a moment to describe from this angle. The veil undulates gently upward, like part of a condensation layer. The movements are diffuse, gentle, and wild. From here, the shifting colors of Sargasso can be experienced. Depending on the time of day and the weather, you may observe traces of warm morning light, the crisp blue of midday, or sunset's golden glint. Artificial light accentuates Sargasso with gentle streaks, and robotic lights sway and shift, creating a sense of flux. This concludes the audio description of Sargasso. Thank you for listening. I hope you have enjoyed your experience. I'm your audio describer, Rebecca Singh. Notes were written and produced by Rebecca Singh with assistance and script editing by Rose Jacobson. Produced in part by Robert Vanderberg. Audio describer Rebecca Singh was last heard describing More Fine Girls at the Tarragon Theatre as part of Picasso Pro Creative Trust's Sun Life Art Access program. Rebecca has also been a fellow of the Luminato Festival since September 2010. This position is generously funded by the Canada Arts Training Fund at the Department of Canadian Heritage in partnership with Obsidian Theatre Company. This audio description is a pilot project produced in association with Picasso Pro Creative Trust and Theatre Local. It is our hope that audio description will be integrated with other visual arts programming at Luminato in upcoming years.